Let's talk about a few things. I wrote down a few words here. First is coming full circle. So I feel that many of us have done a lot of sifting and sorting over the last year or two or longer. And when we sift and we sort, it's really about finding what we want to release in order to get to our authentic self. Our authentic self is who we truly are before we were conditioned, before we were told, and as we grew up, we were expected to do certain things to please our parents, to please our teachers, to please society. And it was really making us dim our light. So as we come full circle more and more, and as more people are awakening, and as more people are asking questions about what's happening in their life and what's happening in the world around them, we want to keep nurturing that. That's the divine feminine energy, that nurturing, right? Think about how a mother nurtures her children or nurtures her family or nurtures what she wants to create more of. We all have that available to us all the time. So the more we nurture it and highlight it and place more emphasis on what we want to see and less emphasis on what we don't want to see, that's how we magnetize it. That's how we literally create it. We become magnets and attract more of it. So continue to ask yourself as you sift and sort what no longer serves, what resonates and what doesn't. And how can I release that part or parts that don't resonate more and more every day? I wrote down pioneering spirit, pioneers. So I believe we have so many fantastic pioneers right now that are helping to pioneer. And again, there's no directions for this stuff, right? It's all coming from our own inspiration, but we're pioneering the divine. We're pioneering this new earth movement, and movements within new earth as well. So when you see people, including yourselves, many of you that are putting yourselves out there in different ways, whether it's on social media or just the way that you're showing up in your daily life to the people around you, remember that you're a pioneer of this and that it does take bravery and courage, but it also is what your soul came here to do. So keep pioneering that keep being pioneers, and congratulate yourself for aligning with the higher purpose. You can't deny that this place is changing, and it's changing for the better despite chaos we're seeing. The more chaos, the more healing is happening. And I can assure you, I always say this, and I'll stop saying it when it's no longer true, but it's still true. More and more people are awakening. More and more people are surprising me. More and more people are showing up to me and others, and maybe in your own lives too, you're seeing it too. It's happening. It's happening, and it's coming from some of the least expected people. So don't be surprised when someone comes to you. I'm sure they're already doing it, guys. But when people come to you with questions and you're modeling it and you're being nurturing and you're really assisting them so that they don't have to feel as lost as maybe you did when you woke up. We are devoted. So those of us that are devoted to this ascension, to this timeline, these higher timelines of these higher frequencies, we no longer will operate on anything that is not matching that frequency. It can feel uncomfortable. Again, there's no checklist on how to do this, but we master how to go within. And that also creates a mental transformation as well, right? Because when we change the way we feel, or we only participate in feelings that make us feel good, that changes our belief system. That changes our thought process. That changes the way we start moving about our day. The last thing I want to mention before I get into the cards, guys, is any imbalance in positive polarity. So one thing that people historically like to do is only talk about the good. They only like to, and I'm going to make sure I'm delicate in how I articulate this, because yes, where your attention goes, energy flows. So you do want to make sure that, like I said earlier, you're highlighting the things that you want to see more of, that you have those affirmations and that you have those practices that help you, again, be a magnet and pull more of it in. It's beyond manifestation now, guys. You're just reeling these energies that you want to see more of to you. But before that can happen, you do have to clear out the old baggage. You do have to clear out the old things that, again, you were conditioned to believe were for you, but they're not. With that being said, once you've done the sifting and sorting and releasing, you are now a pure, clear vessel that can create much differently, much more quickly, by the way, and much more efficiently what you want your life to look like and the experiences that you want to have. It also is about your perspective on things. And you've heard me say this before. We don't want to be naive and not know the truth. And yes, the ugly parts of the world and the ugly parts that maybe we think they're ugly parts of us. We don't want to neglect those things, because if we neglect them, you know what they do? They keep festering and they get larger and larger and larger. It's not about turning a blind eye to things, guys. It's about going face forward towards them, releasing them, transmuting them, however it looks for you, and then going ahead and moving forward. But guys, remember, humanity has made up these rules of what is good and bad. It's all made up. If you start to look at the things that are quote unquote bad to you, the bad parts of you, the ugly parts of you, or the things you don't like about yourself from a different lens, and you integrate it in a way that you just learn to love yourself unconditionally, that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. Are you seeking perfection, or are you seeking love? Because love loves all parts of you. And love has an awareness of those things. It doesn't deny them. It just is aware of them and loves them anyway, has compassion anyway. So I just wanted to start with those things because we are in such a great transformation right now. I know we're feeling it individually. I know that we're feeling it on a much larger scale collectively too. So let's be responsible for it. It's time that we are responsible for it more and more and more. It's time that we accept that this is an ongoing process and that we do have others that are wanting to join and waking up and wanting to understand and understand some of these processes that we're going through and we've been through. Because they can notice something different about you. There's something different. And they're curious because they're waking up and they're starting to catch on. They can't quite put their finger on it all the time. But the more that we embody it and live it and be it, the more we'll wake up and the more can rise, right? So I wanted to congratulate you and thank you once again. I'm going to pull some oracle from Wisdom of the Hidden Realms real quick. And also it's a new year. George, I see you wrote Galactic New Year. It's also the Mayan dream spell. It's a new year. Yesterday, or was it 2 days ago? It was a day at a time. It might have been on Sunday. It was a day at a time. So it's a new year as far as the dream spell calendar goes too. So if you follow that, that's something interesting to note. What up, Roger? What up, Aaron? Who else is in the room? What up, Reviving Energy? What up, TT21? What up, Keeping It Real? What up, Fallon? Justin? Everybody else in the room, thanks for joining. So let's see what guidance we have. Just general starblossom messages. Well, it's already coming out. Look, the River Queen, flow, letting go, natural movement. Okay, so we have the element of water here. This girl looks like a cool little mermaid. And look at that beautiful spiral, that shell she has in her hair. Okay, we always want to remember the spiral of life. Also flowing with the water, right? Flowing with the water. Water energy allows us, almost like I was mentioning earlier with just you're kind of a magnet. You flow with things in a way that you're flexible as long as it's in alignment with who you are and your ideals, right? But that means that things flow to you as well. So you're flowing and other things flow to you. So use that element of water to go with the flow, but also to allow things to flow to you. Some of us block things off. Unintentionally and intentionally, we don't allow the flow. So when we let go of things like this card suggests, we create space for goodness and the things we desire to flow to us, right? And it's interesting. It's a 36 card as well, which reminds me of Nikola Tesla. And of course, that spiral in her hair. This just fell out for us. It's called the Well Watcher. Wisdom and power of the divine. Oh, come on, guys. So this is what we're talking about right now, is being pioneers. Pioneering this new wisdom, coming full circle with this new wisdom. Being devoted to this timeline. And again, it says the power of the divine. Those of you who are operating on higher frequencies, you've done a lot of work, a lot of inner work, a lot of healing work. and you start working on projects, or you just start doing whatever you're doing, and you're noticing how much faster everything is, more swift in these energies. It takes divine, like this power says, power of the divine inspiration. It comes to you. It hits you like a bolt of lightning, and you move forward with the process. You just let it flow out of you. And before you know it, it's some of the best work you've ever created. Or it gets the most attention than you'd ever expected. It's because, again, you've opened this space for it to flow to you, this new inspiration, this divine inspiration, and now it just moves more quickly. It's not like the old 3D Matrix where you had to do like these long checklists of things that are like in a certain order and they look a certain way and they feel. No, it's all about your creation, your nurturing, and your way of doing things, right? What up, TD Rod? Timelines are totally speeding up. What up, Enriched Alignment? Welcome. All right, we have the Ringmaster of Scrutiny, Discernment, Clear Vision, and Details. Okay, this card came out recently, I believe. I don't remember what reading it was in, but I think that this is definitely a present energy, for us. Despite our sifting and sorting, and despite all of the progress that we're making, guys, we still have to use discernment. And having a clear vision, again, focusing on exactly what we want and drawing it towards us, letting it flow towards us is what we want to do. We don't want to have too many details to the point that we're not being general enough to let it manifest and let it come to us. Okay, but we do just want to be clear on what we don't want sometimes, what we don't want. And that's where this scrutiny comes in, right? We're scrutinizing things and we're like, ooh, that's not for me. Yeah, I know that now, right? So what do you know that's not for you? Because if you're not clear on what you don't want, you are going to be living by default. If you're living by default, that's living in the matrix. That's just showing up each day and hoping for the best, planning on hoping to get lucky or hoping for your prayers get answered, shit like that. No, you want to take ownership of your creative energy, your life force, and your intention. Your intention is everything. Your intention is everything. Wow, and look who's on the bottom of the deck. I love when whenever the cover card, that's what we call it, the cover card comes out, it's something really special. The altar priestess says, preparation, prayer, and sacred ritual. So yeah, I love this. Guys, at some point, and I know for many of you, you're not just embodying all your growth and all of your intentions and all that you're creating and nurturing, but you have practices throughout your day that you're just walking a sacred path. That's what this card is emphasizing right now. Okay, you do have preparation and you do have prayer. So what it means by that is you've kind of gotten into alignment and decided what it is that you want and decided what it is that you don't want, and you've sent prayers, you've set intentions out there. And yes, these sacred rituals, okay, it's not what it sounds like necessarily. Like a ritual can just be the ritual of you blessing your water before you drink it every day, or the ritual of you taking off your shoes and walking around barefoot outside or even inside, guys, just to ground yourself. Right? To kind of release some of that extra energy and to connect with Gaia. Thank you for all the hearts coming in. It's really important to have our sacred rituals that resonate for us. I know for myself, in the beginning of my path, I tried a million different things. And now at the point where I don't have to think about it, it's like driving a car. I just know how I move throughout my day. And when I feel inspired to do something, I do it. Even with my breath work that I talk about all the time, I'm not formal with it necessarily, but if I have a song that comes on that I really like and I feel like breathing to it, I'll do it while I'm folding laundry. Or if I'm in the car and I'm at a stoplight, I'll start doing a deep breathing exercise right there. Okay, so how are you incorporating it in your day in a way that is sacred and feels aligned with you? I'm going to pull from the Ascension Oracle deck as well by Diana Cooper. Okay, these cards are totally all about, the divine energies that are helping to lift us and serve us as we go through this ascension process. Let me just shuffle a little bit more. But how are you guys? What up, Atlantis Rising Crystals? Yeah, TD Rod says staying in the now and they become good habits. Yo, Atlantis Rising Crystals. I like seeing yo. I actually have this really cool tarot deck. I don't use it on videos, but it's like Philadelphia themed. It's really funny. Like the Fool card is the Philly Fanatic. Things like that. Like they do a really good job. I got it as a gift from my friend Belle, my dear friend Belle. Wow, so the card that came out, guys, is Mother Mary's Aquamarine Mantle. Interesting, because we just got the Altar Priestess, which coincides with each other. And it's card 52. It says, the wondrous universal angel Mary radiates her high frequency aquamarine light throughout the universe. She spreads compassion, empathy, kindness, healing, and love. Mother Mary suggests you open your heart and offer everyone who touches your path these higher qualities. Then she will grace you by placing her aquamarine mantle in your aura. Okay? You are reminded that there is only love, so there's nothing to forgive. As you wear this mantle, you become a force for healing and light, and the angels will sing blessings over you. And the affirmation for that is, I wear Mother Mary's mantle of love and enfold it in others. So yeah, that kind of, wow, that really brings a lot of what we were just talking about together, right? So when we were talking about being a pioneer and nurturing this with the divine feminine energy, that is what Mother Mary represents, right? The mother who nurtures it all. And that's what this card says to do. She spreads compassion, empathy, kindness, healing, and love. All right. And also that aquamarine, guys, to speak to that color for a minute, we know that different colors mean different things as well, right? So if someone has like a turquoise or aqua aura, it means they're a great healer. There's great healing. So that's what I believe that this card is also representing. And it is, it's a high frequency aquamarine light, high frequency, very high frequency. She says it to, you know, it even says like, she'll put that mantle in your aura. So let's think about that more and more as we continue, not just through today, but maybe through this week and onward, however it resonates with you. How can we nurture what we're seeing in ourselves that we like, and how can we nurture what we're seeing in others to bring them to these higher frequencies that are very healing and very, really potent. I mean, they're powerful. We know that the time, it feels like it's speeding up because it is. It is. It's there's a quickening happening. Let me pull from one more and then we'll close for the day. Let's do the Sacred Traveler. Hola, Roger. TD Rad says, my colors, purple, green, and aquamarine. Nice. Yeah, aqua's beautiful. So yeah, the Sacred Traveler deck is just, it's one of my favorite oracles, actually. Not only does it shuffle nice, but I do like the messages. Okay, look, so it says narrow pathway, tread thoughtfully, narrow pathway. So yeah, we want to stay focused, stay in our lane kind of thing. It's not in a way that creates fear, right? Because you see this very narrow pathway. I'm not saying you're going to fall off or you're in danger. I'm saying you don't want to have interferences come in that take you off of this pathway, right? When you're thoughtful, again, mindful, intentional, guys, the power of our intention, don't forget about the power of your intention and how that really is like a magical tool to create what you want. It just is. The power of your intention. It determines how things will turn out. It determines the outcome. It's not just about manifestations of big, like, things that you want to bring to you, but it's like just how the day is going to go, right? So when you're treading thoughtfully on this narrow pathway, it just means that you are aligned with your highest timeline. You're not living by, again, default, because you're being thoughtful about the path, right? You're being thoughtful. Despite fog, despite anything else. Whoa, well, they flew right on out. All right. Oh my God. All right, so I love this. It says, first light, First light. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. The pioneers. See, you can't make this shit up. Beginning a new cycle. I also happen to see 111 a whole bunch of times today. I do feel like that was for me, but I feel compelled to share it. So perhaps it's for all of us and just the general collective energies of these new beginnings. First light, first pioneer, guys, coming full circle. Think of Alpha, Omega. There is no beginning. There is no end, but there always is a time to refresh. And there always is a time to have a new cycle, okay? So things move in cycles. It's not linear the way that we were taught. It's cycles. What cycles are you closing so that other cycles can begin? Also, we have great adventure, taking a risk and venturing forward. Wow. So Spirit encourages us to maybe do something that we find is risky. Guys, you've heard this saying, no risk, no reward, right? No, but guys, it's not about, again, being scared of the risk or scared of doing something different. It's about treating it with the perspective that it is an adventure. Thank you for all the hearts coming in, right? So venturing forward, onward we go. We know in these higher frequencies, we do not stay stagnant. And we're okay with trying new things. And even if they don't work out, we're okay with that because we know it's taking us to our next step. We also know it's showing us that whole sifting and sorting, what we don't want anymore. So just move onward. Onward we go. And look at this beautiful, guys. The phoenix rises. Transformation. A fresh new way of living emerges. Whew! Sacred Traveler deck. Awesome. Awesome. I love the phoenix rising. It reminds us of resurrection, guys. Divine resurrection. There's something mystical about the phoenix rising from the ashes, making something out of nothing, which is godliness, if you ask me. It's those that are able to use the perspective in which they can make something out of nothing. That is the divine work of God, because it doesn't follow a pattern that the human timelines or 3D matrix timeline has taught us this is how it goes. No. It's creative. It's something out of nothing. And again, it's rising from the ashes. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the messages today. I'm going to say thank you so much again to all of you, not just for your birthday wishes, but your ongoing support. It does not go unnoticed. Please take good care of yourself. Know that I love you, appreciate you, and enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Take care.